Jess, and
no one else.
I guess it has been a cup weekend, which means that I guess teams rest.
Fixture pile up,
rest key players,
You saw what happened to Martinelli the other day.
Injured in
the warm up, and that's what's happened here at Armchair Gaffers.
So today it is just myself and Jess. Some people call it the B team. Others think that we have a lot of potential. Not the youth team anymore.
If I personally think if we were a team, well, we are a team.
Yeah, we are.
If you wanted any two players to carry your team, yeah,
I like where you're going with this.
Who better than Musa Sissoko and Victor? No.
Victor Wanyama?
No, the other one. Dembele.
Musa Dembele?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Top player. I'll take that.
Yeah.
You're here with our cup team. Scorch and SB will be back with us soon. As we said, it is a cup weekend. It has been a cup week. This week has seen a raft of cup games from both the EFL and the FA Cup. I'd say it's almost tangible how little supporters of top Premier League clubs care about these competitions. Unless you're in like the semi-final or the final, let's say. And some people have referred to this weekend as the most romantic weekend of the English footballing calendar.
Who are these some people you're talking about? Is that just you?
Jonathan Pearce.
Okay.
A well-esteemed voice in football. And he said it is the most romantic weekend of the English footballing calendar. And I get it to some extent. You can have your minnows, such as Marine FC.
Yep.
Playing against Spurs.
It's not Marine FC. It's just Marine.
Just Marine.
Yeah, Marine.
But I get it. It's when the big teams are in the mix, and then you've got your 8th tier teams, and somehow they cross paths. There is a little bit of romance.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But you don't really care about the FA Cup third round. This week we saw the Carabao Cup semi-final ties decided. Spurs beat Brentford.
Tough fixture that.
Big fixture.
Yeah, massive. The whole of London stood still for that one.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone outside, but that might be due to lockdown. Yeah. Spurs progressed against Brentford, as most people would have expected. The win moved Spurs to within one game of their first trophy in 13 years. I didn't watch the game, read a few reports on it and saw the goals, but I think the best thing to come out of it was the Instagram video from Jose Mourinho and his backroom staff. He walks into the room, speaking Portuguese. I guess he's excited and celebrating the win. And Ledley King. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We are 10 days in as we film this, and I don't think that video will be topped.
It's gonna be difficult to top that.
That video was something else. But congrats to Spurs for getting through to the Carabao Cup final. They will play Man City, who beat Man United 2-0 at Old Trafford. I'd say ultimately the better side with the better players playing the better football, the better coach claimed the victory.
I'd say that was pretty spot on.
Yeah. It's about right, I think. Resurgent John Stone, I guess he rubber stamped his return.
And can we also just highlight that we at Armchair Gaffers knew John Stones wasn't finished a long time ago. I think as early as episode 1, way back in September.
It's early doors.
Early doors, when we were even picking out England squads, John Stones was in there.
Got to mention when most other podcasts probably wouldn't.
All other podcasts.
I went safe, but you're right. So John Stones rubber stamped his return. Great defensive performance, chipped in with a goal in a derby, and then great volley from I guess one of the biggest dons that's ever played in the Prem, Fernandinho. A nice video, so not a funny video. Ledley King wins that, but the nicest video I saw was Fernandinho coming home and his kids greeting him when he got home. Yeah. Really warmed the heart. Wholesome tweet of the day. Yeah. So big up to City on that. So we get the City and Spurs final in April, and I guess the FA are expecting fans to be back in stadiums by then. I'm not sure. Who do you see coming out as the victor in that massive final?
Because of where it is in the season, if it was to, not today, but now, I'd say that Tottenham would have a good shout. But I think come April, I think City will be in their flow,
Yeah.
in their pep flow. So I'm gonna go for City. But if there's any manager that could usurp Josep,
Mm-hmm.
it would be Jose.
Jose. Yeah.
Jose, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, my money's on City.
Great. Okay. Great final there, and yeah, I guess a chance for Spurs to finally lift some silverware. 2008 was the last time. Juan de Ramos.
And and what trophy was that?
That was the same trophy.
I think that was the Carling Cup.
Was it Carling then?
Yeah, it was definitely one Carabao.
Post Worthington.
Post Worthington. We had the Worthington Cup. We had the Carling Cup.
Now we've got Carabao.
Is that all it's been? Yeah, in our lifetimes.
I think it was the Milk Cup for when some of us were growing up.
Not in my day.
Not you.
No.
Okay, on to the FA Cup third round. We've picked a few games.
But before we go there, I've got an apology to make. So I want
usually get these.
No, not for me. Definitely not for me. Last week, I as you guys are aware, I'm the wine connoisseur, Mr. Continental.
Or if not, go back to last week's episode and see the reaction.
Last week, part 2. Yeah. So I thought I'd try something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a friend of mine that he makes wine, moonshine.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd be a bit exotic and bring in some rhubarb wine. I went to the back of the cupboard, saw the bottle. I was like, yeah, I'll treat the guys. What I should have done is tried it first and then realised that this wine is good for one thing, and that's pet fuel, basically.
Yeah,
should put it in my tank.
Or stripping paint.
Stripping paint. So I'm making sure I'm not going to make that mistake ever again.
Please.
No, I'll never, ever. And I advise you guys, steer clear of rhubarb wine. So this week, also, we've got armchair gaffer cups now.
Yeah,
You see
personalised
that?
cups
Is that clear?
brought to you by Drink Up. Give them a follow, Drink Up Club on Instagram. The party people throw crazy day parties, Halloween parties, all sorts. And they personalised cups for any event.
What more can you
big up
want?
Drink Up, man.
Yeah, so this week, I've brought a pear wine.
Oh my God, man. I thought I was out of the woods.
This has been in the cupboard for a long time. Look at the dust on that bottle. Just touch it. Yeah, exactly. So
Kim and Aggie would not be happy with the dust that's come off of that.
No. So we're trying. There's no label because it's proper moonshine. But this is the pear wine brewed in Sittingbourne.
Famous wine region.
Famous wine region in Kent. So Dan's gonna do the honors. I'm not doing this by myself.
Is it corked?
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to wait for the fumes to leave first. This is already better than rhubarb.
Okay, cheers, all right?
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
To pear wine.
It's weird, but it's not as bad as the rhubarb.
Which is an improvement.
Which isn't saying anything.
Yeah, which is, so
Yeah, we'll put that on hold for now. Back to the FA Cup.
yes, the FA Cup third round. Chorley beat Derby yesterday. They are the first sixth-tier team to eliminate a first or second-tier team in the FA Cup in 30 years when Woking defeated West Brom. Well, guess what?
Go on.
I wrote these notes yesterday.
Yeah, and nothing would have changed between 24 hours.
Please. Pause. This afternoon, Crawley Town beat Leeds United in the FA Cup.
No. Not Crawley Town. Not Mark Wright's team.
Yeah, it's more than... It's not just about Mark Wright. But he's a massive pull, and I will be watching his documentary on BBC iPlayer.
I'll be watching it as
I
well.
used to be a Towie fan as well myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, we digress. But they beat Leeds 3-0. It was described as a romping
shop.
Yeah, vibe cartel. But yeah, Liverpool turned over, and I think people are starting to tire of the Leeds loving. When does it stop?
Wait. Before we go there, so before we got into Leeds, to talk about Chorley Town's victory
2-0 against Derby.
At Derby, and the Leeds lost 3-0 today. Two things that Leeds and Derby have in common is that they fielded unfamiliar squads. So Derby's squad was decimated by supposed coronavirus. think they made 11 changes. They had I think they had like 8 or 9 players making their debut, so it wasn't the Derby squad. And Leeds made 7 changes. And I want to implore you lesser teams, for lack of a better word, to not think you're the big boys. Okay, only the big boys can make wholesale changes and still expect to get through in a cup. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you. It's not for everyone.
It's not a bit like rhubarb wine. It's not for everyone. So, you know, show a bit of respect to these minnows because they will turn you over if you're not careful.
Some of the scenes from Chorley's win yesterday, if you haven't, get on YouTube, have a look. I'm sure they'll be all over the net on your social media as well. But they sing Adele's. I'm not sure what the song is. Like You.
Never mind, I find someone like you.
Yeah. And one of their goal scorers, he was getting interviewed after the game, and the interviewer said to him, "You don't mind singing it?" And I thought he was going to say no. He ends up singing out Adele to the reporter. One of the strangest interviews I've seen, but quite heartwarming as well.
Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you say no?
I guess you're right. It is his big moment and Chorley's big moment. But I was just like, surely he's not going to do it. He ends up belting out Adele.
Why not, mate? You know the FA Cup, like you said, Piercy said that it's the most romantic round, and I've had the pleasure of playing extra preliminary rounds in the FA Cup. Never got to.
Oh, I think I made it to the one before first round proper.
So the third extra preliminary round
turned over by Wildstone.
It happens, mate, and it means something
to the smaller clubs.
It means something, yeah.
It's massive.
And I had another pleasure back in 2007. I took Accrington Stanley all the way from League 2 all the way to the FA Cup final.
Wow.
And the prize money pretty much paid everyone's wages. I'm talking about FIFA, by the way.
Yeah.
This is FIFA talk.
Yeah, make it clear.
When I used to play. Yeah, and so like the money for these smaller clubs, it makes sense. Like to put into perspective, if you win the FA Cup, I think you win about nearly like £1 million. You might think, oh, it's not a lot of money in footballing terms, but for a team like Chorley, that's them set for like 3 to 4 years.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, probably their yearly wage bill is probably about maybe 15 to 20 grand. Maybe
progressing yesterday, they would have won, I guess, prize money of I think it's 61k.
Already that much?
Yeah, for the third round proper.
That's a lot of money.
The only shame this year is no gate receipts, split gate receipts, but they were playing at home. But you want the larger teams you want to be drawn away to a larger team.
Yeah.
But yeah, big up Chorley. We'll be keeping close or paying close attention to how they progress and the draw, which will be today. Also, West Brom, it just goes from bad to worse. Lost on penalties at home to Blackpool.
Yeah, and I actually saw that shoot. I didn't see the game, and West Brom had a lifeline because Blackpool missed the penalty. Up steps Pereira.
Yes, top player.
And has a 10 penalty saved. Like, this is your moment.
Disappointing, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think maybe Big Sam is maybe past it.
I said it last week. Big Sam doesn't see out the season. I'm going on wax and saying that. Big Sam doesn't see out the season.
It's mad because I think Big Sam would win the World Cup of England.
Moving on. Sheffield United got their first win of the season.
And Chris Wilder's 100th win as their manager.
Congrats to the Blades on that. It's been a horrible, horrible season for them so far. But they came out 3-2 winners against Bristol Rovers yesterday.
I saw something horrid about 2 weeks ago. I can't remember who they were playing. It was David McGoldrick for Sheffield United.
Currently the top scorer on probably 3 or 4 goals.
Probably 2.
Chelsea.
Probably the 2 against Chelsea. Didn't he get? Oh yeah, and against United he got 1, didn't he? He got 2 against United.
I know maybe he got a brace against Chelsea last year. He definitely scored against Chelsea this year, but he's on 4 goals.
I saw the most horrid thing I've ever seen in football. It was Sheffield United losing, obviously, a few weeks back, and McGoldrick trying to pump the guys up. So he's dropped into midfield and trying to play like a deep lying false 9, trying to
almost
link
Harry
up play.
Kane-ish.
And it was just horrid. It was just horrid it was not easy on the eyes.
But Lundtram played yesterday, so the boys are back. they've got their first win of the season, and it will be good to see whether or not they can translate yesterday's win into anything in the Prem. But that remains to be seen. Spurs came out 5-0 winners against Marine. The biggest thing to come out of that game was I guess, fans weren't in the stadium, but they were in and around the stadium.
Naturally.
Because, Spurs are coming to town. Mourinho, Gareth Bale, possibly seeing Harry Kane, even though he was rested. But this is probably the first time, or some people, or the last time, they'll have such a team come to town. So everyone kind of was in gardens and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there's been a big hoo-ha about it, about whether or not the police could have done more, and whether or not the tie should have been played at Spurs, because it's not a big thing, Marine coming to town.
There's always going to be someone saying someone should have done more.
Yeah.
Or
naysayers.
Just give it a rest. Like, we're going through enough. We don't need any more, okay?
Yeah. We've got enough on our plate.
It's just
Marines attendance.
Yeah, cool. Give us a break.
I have a Spurs friend who also said Gareth Bale didn't impress in that game.
Gareth Bale. Sorry, I just saw that monitor out. Gareth Bale. I saw something a little while ago because if you guys don't know, I spend about, not all day, but about 25 hours a day on the internet.
Just the 25.
And someone was saying that they're seeing what Zidane couldn't see, or what he saw, or the lack thereof in Gareth Bale. So maybe Zidane was right about old Gary.
Some people say he can't manage. He's not a great manager, but he got that right.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can say he's not a great manager.
But it's about cause and effect. So is Gareth Bale's form because he wasn't playing?
Okay.
Or was he not playing because of... Yeah.
Depends. Gaffers at home, let us know. Do you think Zidane was always right? Or is Jess, his agent, it seems like at the minute, is the reason for his decline in performance due to not playing? Chicken or the egg kind of thing.
Yeah.
Moving forwards, we have a segment in our show called Ones to Watch, where we kind of highlight players across the UK and Europe that stand out or people should pay attention to because we've seen something as Armchair Gaffers, and we say, we should spread that to the Armchair Gaffers family, and we kind of say, this player is the guy to watch. We don't always get it right, so as a result, we have selected some hits and some misses from Jess and myself. Jess, do you care to start with your miss?
Guys, for those of you that really follow our show, this is going to come as a massive shock to you. I am going to finally admit that I can't even say it. Like, my heart is racing to even think.
I don't know where you're going to go with this.
Guys, I'm going to admit that Emil Forsberg...
Oh, shit. For those who are uninitiated, we have a Armchair Gaffer subscriber. I believe it's David Addy.
Fuck David.
Every single week, he reminds Jess that Emil Forsberg isn't a great player, and has even referred to him as Forsberg. But now I feel like this is a big moment because you're admitting that you are wrong and David was right.
Whoa, you didn't let me finish.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
I'm going to admit that Emil Forsberg isn't the best player in the Bundesliga. He's probably the best player in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, so my hit, I got no misses.
Oh,
yeah?
Fair play.
Emil Forsberg, that was one of my major hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just doing bits at RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, RB Leipzig does not stand for Red Bull Leipzig.
Please tell them what it means, Jess.
Rasen Ballsport Leipzig. So that's like lawn football Leipzig, because you can't have a company own a team in Germany.
Okay.
Yes, so it's not Red Bull. It's actually RB. But yeah, no, he's pulling strings in the RB Leipzig midfield. He's got help from some guy called Sabitzer who chips in every now and again, but the brunt of the creativity falls on the shoulders of Emil Forsberg, and he's doing a great job.
Love that.
Yeah.
Since you don't have a miss.
I got 2 hits.
Yeah, as you do.
The other one is Alejandro Gomez, better known as Papu Gomez from Atalanta. And you heard it here first. On the 10th of January 2021,
Yes.
Atalanta are winning the Champions League in 2021.
Okay. Death taxes and Jess bigging up Atalanta.
And especially Papu Gomez.
Yeah. He's probably going to leave the end of the season. But you brought him to, I guess, the Armchair Gaffer.
Watch this space.
Mind. So, yeah, well done on that front. My miss is a player by the name of Ibrahim Niang. He is a young Senegalese striker, 21 years old. He scored 6 in 6 when I highlighted him as my one to watch for the week. The following week, he tore his cruciate ligament. So he hasn't played since I highlighted him and told people to watch out for him.
But then I said this a little while ago, here at Armchair, we have the commentator's curse. This is the power that we have. We highlighted Niang,
it's a real thing.
And look what's happened to him.
Yeah,
so
it's a damn shame. But he'll be out for a while, as is the case with these serious knee injuries. But he'll be back next year, 22 years old, still a striker, still lethal. So watch out for him. So that's my miss so far. My hit. It's not a brand name.
Not a brand name?
It's an Aston Villa player. Not a brand name.
John.
You've got it.
Yeah. I remember you called that John. Yeah.
26-year-old midfielder, starts every single week, qualified for Euro 2020 with Scotland, which is no mean feat.
No mean feat at all.
4 assists, 1 goal so far. He could probably.
But it's bigger than that, though. It's not just about the assists or the goals; it's the influence.
Yes, and I believe he is one of the most complete midfielders in the Prem. I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying it, and I feel like he's the springboard for Jack Grealish.
I'm with you. I call him, in my footballing terminology, I call people like McGinn. He's a facilitator.
Yes.
So him being on the pitch, it allows your players like your who's that guy from Holland? Anwar Al Mohammadi.
Yes.
It allows you Al Mohammadi still knocking about. It allows you Jack Grealish to really, really express themselves because he's there cleaning up, but you don't really see him. It's like it's kind of like the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, you just know it's there. You feel it, yeah. So, yeah, John McGinn was my hit. Big player. I'm not sure if he's got a move in him. I'm not sure if there's one more movement or if he's peaking at Villa.
No.
You think he stays there?
Yeah, he stays there.
So, yeah, John McGinn's my hit. Check him out. Probably, I don't know. Depends on if you are a purist. Not many highlights as such. But for the purist, you'll definitely appreciate him. And like the old saying is, behind every good man is a good woman. And I think, behind every great star in the Prem,
there's a John McGinn. Cool. Before we move on, SB's not here today, but I need to big up SB's shout. I think it was his very first one. He's one to watch. Daniel Podence. Yeah?
Big shout.
Armchair Gaffers, episode 1. Go back and look at it.
He was early
on the Podence shout. When he said it, I'm like, here we go. I was slagging him off.
What does this guy know? Yeah.
Who brought this guy? No, Podence is doing bits like I observe rules because I'm a big you guys probably know I've always got an agenda on somebody. It was Rashford, then it went to Martial. Now I've got a new agenda.
What?
It's a Adama Traore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby O.
Yeah. You know he claims he doesn't
use the gym.
Doesn't use the gym, guys. Anyways, and he scored a screamer the other day on his left foot.
Yeah.
Oh, things like that just annoy me. But yeah, no. Podence keeps him out of the squad. He's just an all round baller. He just
I like him a lot.
Yeah, so well done, SB. Got to give you your flowers because you deserve them that shout there.
I want to scorch your shots, Hakimi.
I'm not gonna give Scorcher any flowers.
Why so?
I've got agendas. So I told you, Rashford, Martial, Adama Traore, and Scorcher.
Oh, he's on the naughty step as well. Fair play. Gaffers, if you haven't, let us know your ones to watch and players that we should, I guess, cast an eye on for the rest of the season and I guess moving into the European tournaments and whatnot.
Before we move on, the DMs always popping like the most, yeah.
Your personal DMs or?
No, I'm a married man.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have what? What?
Sorry.
No. So today someone said, "Can we?" What did he say? Sorry, it was about He said, "Can we please talk about how washed Madrid are becoming? The midfield needs to be revitalized, and so does the attack." I just want your thought on that real quick. That was from Mo Barry 3.
Big up.
Mo Barry 3.
Big up Mo Barry 3. Big
Yeah.
up Louis Barry scoring against Liverpool.
Big up Louis Barry, straight from La Masia.
Yeah. It's back, baby.
Yeah, we back, baby.
On Madrid's midfield and attack, it probably does need some rejuvenating. However, you say that they spent 100+ million euros last year on a Belgian mercurial talent.
No, no, they didn't, Dan. Because had Madrid or anyone spent 100 million euros on anyone, he would have had an impact in the team, and we would be seeing it, and they would be languishing in second place and struggling to get through the Champions League group. It's impossible. That's fake news.
I'd like to counter that. They bought Eden Hazard last year for 100+.
He's not at Chelsea anymore.
Euros. No, he is a Real Madrid player. So, in terms of rejuvenation, I hear it to some extent. Yes, Karim Benzema. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
The years are just flying by. Yeah. It's Christmas already. Ferrero Rocher is back on deck. I think the midfield does need a bit of a facelift.
Casemiro, Modric, Cruz. I mean, on paper, the names, those are Casemiro, Modric. Exactly. So I think they could do, and it's mad because you got players like Isco, who's probably finished now.
He says he wants to go to Sevilla.
Wouldn't blame him. Sevilla, are they playing? No, they're playing Atleti. Sorry, they're playing Atleti this week. Sorry. Yeah, it does need a bit of a shake up, but
Valverde and whatnot. Yeah, I guess they might snoop back in for Pogba. I agree with Mo to some extent, but I do feel that they have enough there to be cracking on and getting past your Ibars and Elche and Alaves.
Huesca.
Yeah, they've got more than enough to be getting on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, gaffers at home, please let us know your ones to watch. And we'll keep a keen eye on them and highlight them in episodes to come. Moving forwards, this is kind of a off the beaten track, hypothetical thing. Not that we do a lot of those.
Don't we?
We do lots.
Oh, was that sorry.
If you could change one footballing moment, what would it be?
Oh, yes.
Just one. I know there's probably loads due to your affiliation with Woolwich Arsenal. But yeah, if you could just pick one that you change, what would it be?
Second place for me would have been 2003. What the hell? Millwall versus United in the FA Cup final.
Cristiano Ronaldo's stepovers galore, white socks, black socks.
Obviously, Millwall's my local team, and I would have loved nothing more than for them to get spanked 18-0.
Yeah.
It was only 3-0 in the end, but if that was 18-0, it would have made me really happy.
That would have, 3 weren't enough.
No, not enough. Not for those. Yeah. Anyway, but my actual moment that I'd want to change came in the World Cup quarter final of 2014.
Okay.
It was Brazil versus Colombia.
I don't remember that game.
You will when I say what happened. That's the game when Zuniga kneed Neymar on the back and broke his spine.
Back and
yes.
All that stuff. Yeah.
And then he missed the next game.
And Brazil went into mourning.
And they lost 7-1.
They came out with the... What do you think about that? The shirts backwards with the name on it. It's kind of a bit like...
Yeah.
He's passed away, but he hasn't.
Yeah, no. But I bet they wish they'd passed away after that mauling.
7-1.
Yeah, and I looked at the team. They had Fred leading the line. What?
There's no shame in that.
There's no...
So that's your...
because
the one footballing moment you change.
Yeah, I mean, because that was Neymar. It was in Brazil. That was Neymar's World Cup. Yeah, and he's like one of their... there's always a Brazilian player, but he's like their superstar. The script was already written. The movie rights had already been sold to Warner Brothers. Everything was done. And that happened. And they went down 7-1.
The most embarrassing defeat I think I've ever seen.
The most.
Yeah, I remember Ozil passing backwards and David Luiz giving him a high five for showing some mercy
Wow.
on their pitiful souls.
Yeah. Mertesacker came off the bench in that game. Mertesacker came off the bench in that game.
That's muggy, innit?
How muggy is that?
Absolutely
That
muggy.
you're so comfortable, you bring on a player called Per. Yeah?
Oh, I guess things work in like cycles and alignment because we're. Go on then.
Yeah. So you were saying, Dan?
Yeah, that was one of the most humbling defeats / embarrassing defeats I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
It was genuinely like a footballing massacre. I think, yeah, the setting, I think that, yeah, Neymar being out, it being in Brazil,
All of that.
the celebrating
Mm-hmm.
of like the goals, even though it's like, yeah, 6-1 now, and they're still celebrating like absolute killers.
Do you know
It
who
was lovely to
scored
see.
Brazil's solitary goal?
No, I don't remember it. It evades me.
You probably guess it when I give you a clue. He now plays in China. China.
Oscar.
What a player.
What a player. What a player.
Rotting away.
Well, yeah, one day, maybe we should do biggest footballing mercenaries because I've got views that aren't shared by everyone.
And mate, you and me
If
both.
you see biggest footballing mercenaries on another footballing podcast soon, you know where you heard it first.
Sorry, I feel like so recently someone described us as a luxury football analysis.
Nice.
Yeah? And I realized what it is. I just looked to my left and I realized it's the wine and the Ferrera.
It's not the actual football
analysis.
analysis.
No, and you don't call these are called Ferrero Rocher, but I call them Ferrera.
Little,
As in Paulo.
Oh, great player.
Great player.
Underrated right back.
But people see the gold leaf. the
Gold leaf and the Ferrero Rocher.
the pear wine.
Absolute pear wine.
And you just think luxury.
So that's your one footballing moment you could change if you could. Mine was QPR succumbing to Man City a few years ago.
Wow!
But
That's very biased though, because you're a United fan.
There were no rules. The criteria has changed one footballing moment. Why?
Whoa! I want to change mine then.
All right, let me do this one and then you can do your
I need some
biased one. QPR, Man City, or Man City versus QPR. Last day of the season, they went ahead and won the Premier League, their first, on goal difference.
Beautiful.
Genuinely horrible. And to this day, I'm not sure. I might be the only one. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but here goes. Joey Barton getting sent off was something of an inside job.
We need to go back and check all the betting slips globally.
Yeah, because if Kieran Trippier is getting done for telling people that he's moving,
and so did Sturridge get done.
Yeah, then that should be looked into. Joey Barton, he was just intent on getting sent off. Got sent off, whatever. Boom. And the rest is history. The whole thing reeks for me.
Was that a Balotelli assist?
Decent assist. Look at the standard. But yeah, that gave City their first Prem title and I guess the platform for them to build and push on to become the team that they are today. I guess usurping United in the city of Manchester.
That's crazy.
It was just devastating.
That's
because
crazy,
United's game had finished prior to that, and when United finished, United were champions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was one footballing moment.
So I want to go back and change mine now.
Please do.
I'm going back to the year 2006, Arsenal fans. Do you know what I'm going to change? Jens Lehmann getting sent off
early doors, right?
Early doors. Not only that, in the run-up to that final, we were playing Matteo Flamini left back, yeah? Doing a job.
Getting it done. Very underrated.
It looked horrible. Mm-hmm. Disgusting. Horrid. Just the way I like it. Mm-hmm. And the final comes along and he starts Cole. He had to.
You don't keep Ashley Cole on the bench.
No. One of the best 3 left backs of all time.
Who are the other 2?
Probably Maldini, the right-footed left back.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one's up for debate. Probably Benjamin Mendy at Man City.
He's in big trouble.
Have you seen what he's done now?
I've seen the picture.
I've seen the picture.
Who he flew out.
He flew out from Greece. I'm not gonna lie. See, Benjamin Mendy, he's someone you need to have in your circle, just for the sheer unexpectability. Is that a word? The
It is now.
spontaneity. You just don't know
What you can
what's like. I believe being friends with Benjamin Mendy, you wake up one morning and you roll over. He's just there in your room. Like, what the? Hey, get ready. Let's go. Go where? Like, just follow me. I've got to take the kids to school. No. They're at school already. What?
He is
How do
that
you
guy.
do? Just trust me. And then that's
And you
Benjamin
trust him and you
Mendy
end up
in jail.
big troubles. But
Yeah.
another twist in the career of Benjamin Mendy, another
It never
misdemeanor.
ends. It never ends.
Yeah, the list continues to grow. So yeah, that's your second footballing moment. I understand that one.
Yes.
That one's and that's the
'Cause
title that evaded. Arsene Wenger.
That was our game to win. We had the best defensive record going into that final. They had the best attacking record. But I think
Sol Campbell, big header,
big header, big bald header.
what a player.
What a player.
Yeah, was it Eto'o and Belletti?
Giuliano Belletti, Brazilian right back, and Samuel Eto'o with a toe.
Underrated, genius. Gaffers at home, please let us know your thoughts on our footballing moments that we'd like to change, and also please in the comments below let us know one footballing moment that you would change, and if it would change the course of your team's season, or if like me, United struggling to win titles ever since that. Just the one.
2013.
Fergie's final season, because he had ideas of retiring, and he said that pushed him to make sure he won another title.
Madness.
Different gear. On a former episode, we've talked about an imaginary, hypothetical league in between the Championship and the Premier League, because many players struggle to make the step up. What do you think the difference in quality is? How big do you think it is?
I think it's like being like the best kid in your school, let's say 100 meters, and then going to like the Olympics. Is that big?
I thought you were going to say like the county.
Nah, bigger than that. Bigger than that.
Sports or
Bigger than that.
the Olympics from school. Yeah, it's a massive leap. Yeah, I think Jess isn't exaggerating. He's underplaying it, if anything. And previously we spoke about players who would kill it in the league in between the Championship and the Prem because of the dearth in quality. I've got a few names here. Just to start with, Connor Wickham.
Do you know? Yeah. Connor Wickham. Do you know who he plays for?
Little bit of trivia. I know this.
Armchair Gaffers at home. If you're familiar with Connor Wickham, do you know who he plays for? And secondly, do you know how old he is? I'm going to tell you. He still plays for Crystal Palace, and he's only 27 years old.
Doesn't even make sense.
Madness.
It makes zero sense to me that Connor Wickham's still on Crystal Palace's book and he's still young.
Yeah.
In the prime of his career, really.
Exactly. He's an example of those kids that make it through just because they're bigger than everyone. Yeah. Usually
he's a unit.
Yeah, usually it's those they just come from Nigeria or Sudan or somewhere in school. We're not gonna go there.
We're not gonna do that.
We all had them in our school though.
We're not gonna do that. Another player is Jordan Rhodes.
Wow. Yeah. No, I don't think he would kill it in the in between league. I think he's got to go the league in between Championship and League One.
Oh, even lower. Well,
in between is two.
You say that. In the Championship, he's played 238 games and has scored 100 goals. So he's just short of the 1 in 2 club.
Yeah, that's 1 in 2.38.
Came to the Prem, 6 games, 0 goals.
Wow.
I guess he falls short a bit on games. Not enough of a sample size. But 0 goals is never great. There's also Dwight Gale.
Yes.
Probably divides opinion a bit.
Yeah, he's not a Premiership player. It's not his league.
By any means?
I'm thinking because Palace, Newcastle, cool. If he was at a team, let's say like Tottenham, even Arsenal, Everton, would he be any better? Wolves, would he would he add value to their squads?
Probably not.
I'd say probably not, in my opinion. But what do we know? We're just armchair gaffers. You guys at home, you know more than us.
Yeah, that's not in the Championship. His stats are 61 games, 36 goals. When I was doing some research from what I saw, and in the Prem, he's just around 100 games and 21 goals.
1 in 4.
But I believe that's changed. Yeah. So no, 1 in 5. That is
1 in 5. So yeah, would have been 20.
It's nothing to.
Yeah, no.
Nothing to write home
So
about.
that means 1 in 5. So in a season he'll score like, but he doesn't get 8 in a season.
No chance. Ross McCormack as well, the all-time Championship top goal scorer in one season. I think it was 28 goals, but just a non-entity.
Ross McCormack and Fulham ruined transfer fees single-handedly.
Explain.
I don't remember the year, but when Fulham got relegated a few years back, they went down to the Championship, had a lot of money, and they purchased Ross McCormack. I'm not sure who they bought him from. Can you look this up, yeah?
Let's have a look.
Yeah, but Fulham bought Ross McCormack. This would have been about like, I'm guessing like 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, and they paid £15 million for a player from the Championship. At the time, that was unheard of.
That's big, though.
That's those times there. To put into perspective, £15 million is well, that's still half of what United paid for Donny van der Beek today.
Oh my god!
Do you understand?
I thought we were gonna get through an episode without mentioning Donny van der Beek.
Well, I like Donny van der Beek. I'm a big fan. But yeah, no. When Fulham, who were in the Championship, paid another Championship club £15 million for a Championship player to stay in that league, not like you're in the Premier League, it just ruined transfer fees and
not the Neymar or the Mbappe transfer. It was Fulham.
It was Fulham.
Ruined.
It was Fulham. Fulham started it, and then I think that was after Ronaldo. But Bale and Pogba, they're the ones because
That really shook.
because with Ronaldo, you can understand why a team would pay that kind of money. Yeah. Aside from the sheer volume of goals he scores and trophies he brings in, it's the whole commercial ability. With someone like Gareth Bale, I didn't see the commercial side of it. Okay, cool. We're gonna buy the biggest Welsh player and have everyone in Wales buy Real Madrid jerseys. All 34 people in Wales are gonna buy the Real Madrid jerseys, and you know what? They can buy one for every sheep. So now we have 100 people, like 134 people, and the sheep as well. It still doesn't make sense commercially.
I'd like to distance myself from those comments.
No, you told me to say that.
Fulham bought Ross McCormack from Leeds.
Yeah,
it's just.
How much was the transfer?
The fee was 11 mil and add-ons.
Yeah.
4-year contract with the option of a 5th. Yikes.
Yeah, and he scored like 0 goals.
Just horrible.
And that was the beginning of the end for transfer fees in the Championship.
Yeah, few other names for our Inbetweeners League. Rob Earnshaw.
Definitely doing a front flip every time.
Billy Sharp.
I don't remember Billy Sharp.
Absolutely bossed it at Sheffield United. Like a top player. I actually like him. Like his story is quite good. But yeah, definitely one for the Inbetweeners League.
Yeah,
he just hasn't.
I've got one.
Ever kicked on in the Prem.
I've got one.
Who?
Andy Carroll.
Ooh, I'm not here for that.
Remember when Newcastle got relegated back in again like 8 years ago?
Just under Shearer.
Nah, before that. I'm sure it was under Shearer. But he went down with them to the Championship and he bossed it. He scored like, I don't know, like...
It suits Andy Carroll's style.
Yeah. Back stick isolation, guys. Another one of our themes here at Armchair Gaffers. Yeah, and he went down with Newcastle, bossed it, came back up to the Prem. I think he scored like 11 goals before Christmas. Yeah. Nicked his move to Liverpool. True Colours came out. That was that. So this was the year before Liverpool bought him. Yeah.
How much was that?
35 million.
That was big money. Yeah, I always remember saying Newcastle were right to sell him at that time because he was never going to be more expensive than that.
Yeah, win-win for them.
But he's back.
He's back scoring volleys.
Yeah.
Every 4 years he scores a goal.
Yeah, it's like an eclipse or something like that.
I put something on Instagram the other day actually. Funny enough, I mentioned Andy Carroll because let me just double check my double check my supposed facts. Andy Carroll has 4 league goals in his last 6 seasons. Bearing in mind, I think 2 of those goals are this season.
Yeah, so very barren.
No. One was this
One
season.
this season was
3
Worldie.
were like years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good work if you can get it, I think.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
few other mentions and inductees for our Inbetweeners League: Lewis Graben,
Graben.
Anthony Knockhart.
Knockout. He's at Brighton. No, he's on loan. Where is he?
He bossed the championship and I guess is most famously linked to missing the penalty against Watford before Watford go the other end.
Yeah.
And Troy Deeney scores the best goal ever.
The best goal ever.
Yeah, so it was Knockout that missed that pen then. I think he's at Leicester then. Danny Graham.
Another one, yeah.
I saw Danny Graham on one of these lists and I thought that's a bit harsh, but then I actually looked into it and I think he had a great run of maybe 11 goals in near enough the same amount of games.
Yeah.
And then went on to score like 2 in the next 2 seasons.
That's how it works. A bit like your favourite, Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Will Dominic Calvert-Lewin end up on the In-Betweeners list one day? I don't think so, personally.
I know so.
Okay. Michael Chopra.
The Welsh Chopra.
Chopra, what a player.
He's compared to himself. Like, you know, say, oh yeah, the Brazilian Messi or the Portuguese Alan Shearer. What? I don't know. He's the Welsh Chopra.
Yeah, big up Michael Chopra. And Jason Scotland was the last one I had on my list.
Who was Scotland?
He was a young black striker, played at Wigan, and he could be part of one of my arguments to say that the Prem isn't as good. No, the Prem is now better than it ever was.
Because
of players like Jason Scotland in the Championship, 170 games, 48 goals. Premier League, 32 games, 1 goal. 2009, Wigan paid Swansea 2 million to buy Scotland. He was 30, but something of a late bloomer who blossomed for Ipswich. Yes, I remember that. After 1 Premier League season, brought him 1 goal in a defeat to Fulham.
You know what, yeah? I feel like a lot of managers, a lot of coaching staff, recruitment, whoever's in charge of transfers, they don't actually look at everything else. So I think a lot of times they're really naive. They see a player and look at the numbers only. He scored 30 goals over 42 games in the Championship. Yeah, and that's all they look at. They don't care about where the goals came from. They don't care that all those 30 goals, 10 were penalties. Yeah, they ignore that.
Or the 5th goal in a 6-0 win.
The 5th goal in a 6-0 win. They don't consider that he scored 6 of those goals against the same team in both fixtures. So 2 hat-tricks.
Suarez versus Norwich.
Exactly. They don't think about that. They don't think about other players in the team that facilitate that returning goals. I.e., for example, Luca Digne for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Robertson and Trent for everyone else in Liverpool. So they don't look at that. They just look at just the basic numbers, and then you bring them into a completely different environment where they're not getting that kind of service. They haven't got that kind of facilitator on their team.
They'll start to fall away, and it all looks a bit.
Exactly. So I'm really questioning.
Gaffers at home. Do you agree with Jess?
But of course they don't agree with me. No one agrees with me.
They don't. You're just going on again.
Yeah.
And I guess in our shortest episode yet, that brings us to full time, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wrap it up there. Beat the traffic home.
We've only had like 1.5 glasses of this fantastic.
Don't worry. We'll do a giveaway and give it to the gaffers at home. But pair over rhubarb. Is what I'll say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll bring rhubarb back next week and we'll give it another go.
No.
I'm gonna give away. I'm gonna give the rhubarb wine to one lucky winner. The competition to enter. Just watch this video.
Gaffers at home, thank you for watching. As usual, please, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe our videos. And if not, yeah, it's a bit of a quiet week in the footballing world. Go back, view our old stuff or our earlier stuff, and see some of our shouts, and I guess pull us up on where we've gone wrong, or congratulate Jess on where he's gone right. You'll find loads of examples. And yeah, if you aren't, yeah, please subscribe. If you're not following us on social media, our social media handles are AC Gaffers. If you're not following Drink Up Club, please make sure you follow them up. They're the providers of our cups this week. And yeah, stay tuned. We will be back next week with a full complement. I guess it's not a cup week next week, so we'll have our A-team, our full strength league team out.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be back to normal.
Yes.
The new normal, sorry.
The new normal.
So yeah, thanks for watching. This has been Armchair Gaffers. I'm Walks, and that's Jess. Peace.